Ooh. Yeah. Check it.
Let's start the show.
Spectating, debilitating, chins on television. Cousin tape recording bars, pacing in the kitchen. Commence penning witness prior to my new religion. Being present, yellow belly fella, smelling Nelly's vision. Similar in age to Dave when he first did the stage. Imagine camouflage, capacity, crowds, and love and fame. But I can empathize what's real, I cannot simulate. What's your answer to an exact question? How much can you take?
You know, through the whole journey of this podcast, I've been looking for the places where music and home interact, the places where art and culture intersect. Of course, there isn't a cookie-cutter answer. When I hear this,
I'm in a Buick going to protest a mascot.
I have to think about my own discomfort with my own home.
First day of store, tall, Paul, and black.
Listening is the secret to great conversations, to life-changing conversations. Even if those conversations take you to some slightly uncomfortable territory. I've been there before. Nothing wrong with a little discomfort. And I'm learning sometimes the way through discomfort is to just sit and listen. This sound is intimate. It isn't big, it isn't 110 decibels of an outdoor show, but it comes from the same point of inspiration. Both are meditative in their own way. Both say, "Listen to me." That's Sarah Rowe. She's a Nebraska artist, healer, and performer, and she was kind enough to share this flute song with me. You may recall I've been playing the flute since I was 4, and Sarah's is a beautiful wooden flute that kind of reminds me of the flute Hassan and Ziad gave me. Check out our website for pictures of them both. Before she played the flute for me, though, Sarah got out her other tools for me. And yes, I'm giving a shout out to Kinan Asma in our last episode. Remember, he said,
people have to hold on to their tools.
It's fun to carry around a little bag of treasures.
Yeah. Right. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I always say I'm wielding a paintbrush or my cello bow. Those are my weapons.
Yeah. Hold on to your tools or your weapons. Sarah's armory is full. She uses painting, sketching, performance art, and she also works in sound when she performs healing ceremonies. Sarah has been asked to wield her paintbrushes for the Lincoln Crossroads Music Festival. Sarah's artwork is entrenched with thoughts and concepts about home and place. And as a musician, she draws on the diversity of her background. I'm eager to hear what Sarah thinks about this, but I'm also a little bit nervous.
Has music always been a part of your life as much as art, or what's that relationship been with music in your life?
Yeah, I started with piano when I was young. I played flute my entire life. I started teaching myself cedar flute, traditional native flute as well. I play cello as well, so yeah, it all fuels my visual art.
Sarah began drawing with black ink on white paper. Simple, small and elegant, curved lines. It's always a privilege getting to watch someone do what they love. I asked her how she describes herself to people.
Well, I'm a visual artist. I also do performance art, and a lot of it is rooted in Lakota ceremony, inspired by that. I'm Lakota and Ponca. So I use that as kind of a springboard for cross-cultural connection and storytelling. And I think it's important for us to honor tradition, but also speak in a contemporary way.
Sarah's art for the Lincoln Crossroads Music Festival would accompany a performance of the Standing Bear Cantata by composer Jared Impichachaha Tate, a work for vocalist and chamber ensemble designed to give voice to the trials and dream of Standing Bear, a Ponca chief and civil rights warrior. You'll have the chance to hear it later. Her art on this day was just a precursor to thinking about her work for the cantata. And again, we'll have pictures of both on our site.
And a lot of it is about place and these people in exile and trying to honor their home even as it's being taken away from them. And still, trying to keep their community intact even though they're being forced to move elsewhere.
This is the uncomfortable part. Now we're talking about home in a different way. This isn't about refugees like Hassan or Ziad coming here for refuge. Now we're talking about Nebraska. The place I've referred to as my home about 100 times in this podcast already. Like it's mine. Like I own it. But this is the other side of that refugee coin. What Sarah is talking about, and the cantata speaks to, is people who called this place home for centuries, and then were forced to give up that home.
It's speaking to a historical event, which we don't have really any physical record of, so a lot of it is just subjective feeling and remembering and honoring the people that walked that path.
Right. There isn't a lot of physical record. Because in the 19th century, Europeans were moving into this country at an astounding rate. Native Americans were displaced and murdered as a result. I can feel my discomfort moving in. Sarah is talking about events that occurred that benefited my ancestors. And now I'm doing this podcast talking about my home, my place in my language. My ancestors, a mishmash of Europeans from Slovenia, Scotland, Ireland, England, and Germany, they benefited from U.S. policies that removed Native American Indians from their land. I've no reason to feel awkward around Sarah. She's warm and open and honest too. But I do feel something. It's hard to put my finger on.
It blows my mind how many people still don't know we're still around and that we are your neighbors, There are a lot of misconceptions about Native people and our cultures. I think it's important for us to have uncomfortable conversations. That just helps us all to be better humans and better neighbors.
I'm totally ready for the uncomfortable conversation part. Maybe. I don't know. It's always nerve-wracking, I think. I really feel like looking back, my education was, hey, there were these pilgrims who almost starved and natives taught them how to plant corn. And now it's today. Like there was a real big gap in
that
between.
That seems to be the extent in general,
right?
Not just in smaller towns or, decades ago. That's still the case, certainly. And that is a huge problem.
Well, and it's nerve-wracking for me because then I feel like you get to be an adult at some point and you're like, wait, what the heck? Why am I missing all of this information? It just makes me upset. It makes me uncomfortable. It makes me not even know how to start asking questions or have a conversation. I mean, if you don't know something, you're liable to stumble and make a mistake and hurt someone's feelings. And I think that's part of why those are uncomfortable conversations,
Right, but you can't let it close you off. I think staying open and just being real and curious and authentic in your approach is better than saying nothing.
It felt good to get that out there with Sarah. I think for so many people, home equals comfort. And part of what makes homes comfortable are the things that feel known. That gets knocked off kilter when we can see the unintended biases we absorb from those homes. My education avoided the viewpoints of other cultures, even the ones right here, literally people who have been and are now my neighbors.
It is incredible how many people don't know about reservations and what life is really like there and why they exist and why there's such desolation on a lot of these reservations. But most Native people live in urban areas. They're literally your neighbors, and you pass them by every day. We're survivors of genocide. But it's really empowering at the same time to have a voice now, even though like some of the oldest recordings of Native people were made because they thought that we would be gone by now. So I think it's important to share our art and our voices.
Like her music, Sarah's voice and her message is calm, but penetrating. Other voices demand our attention in a more pointed and urgent way.
I feel the latent effects of assimilation in a city native, raised by bright lights and skyscrapers, born with dim prospects, little peace in living as a child, hot-headed about the fact I wasn't wild like they called my ancestors. Imagine what it'd be to live nomadic off the land and free. Instead, I was full of heat like a furnace, cause I wasn't furnished with the language and traditional ways of my peeps. Yeah, I used to feel like I wasn't truly indigenous. Now I say me which get you money do for showing me my true roots. Definitely native. Take responsibility for being educated. My people and customs originating from early phases of history. Yes, deeper than fried bread and contest powwows. Tears shed in the sweat lodge. Prayers go out to all those I've wronged and who have wronged me. Gotta treat them like family.
I want you to picture where this is taking place. We are in downtown Lincoln at a public park at night. For 5 blocks in one direction, there's an unobstructed view of the Nebraska State Capitol. And here on a stage is a man named Tall Paul. He's in shorts and a tank top. His long black hair is pulled back in a tight ponytail. He's an imposing figure. He's tall. And he has massive shoulders and arms. He owns the stage, like an athlete owns the court. Behind him and the stage is a statue of Chief Standing Bear. His right hand extends forward toward the stage and the audience. The words on the wall next to him read, "My hand is not the same color as yours, but if you pierce it, I shall feel pain. If you pierce your hand, you also feel pain. The blood that will flow from mine will be the same color as yours. The same God made us both. I am a man." Picture that and hear this as Tall Paul switches between English and Anishinaabe.
I gotta push the limit if I'm gonna keep pursuing. So I use it in a way that relates to my life and vocab. Bring some entertainment to it, spit it on a track, and I take it out the class. Can't let what I lack become a self-defeating habit that'll make me wanna quit. Get your money do, we do kawashim. Jumushka wiziyan, me Dutch bomit, it is yan. Me shishanam, za get away when gnu shishanam, bisin there with shanam. Me Wayne Janaga Moyan. Nima shomis we do kawashanam, jit I budget too young and nishanabe is twawan. Me jit bit, get came to mind kaya, nishanabe be my dizzy win.
Talking with Tall Paul is similar to listening to him rap. He is straightforward. He is to the point. There is no messing around. I asked him how to get over the hurdle of making that first approach to someone who you perceive as different. And his answer is strikingly similar to Sarah's.
You know, the only way to do it is just to say it, and I know I know as a Native person, I'm open to people asking me questions that they themselves might consider dumb, but I'm like, hey man, it's not your fault that this country doesn't educate you about me. So the only way you're gonna learn is to ask me, and if you think it's dumb, don't worry about it.
Tall Paul is Anishinaabe and Oneida, and he's on a mission daily to educate people through his music.
Legality is not a determinant of morality, you know what I mean? What makes something legal in this country does not make it moral or good.
Paul has come to Lincoln from St. Paul, Minnesota, and he wants people to discard stereotypes. Paul was raised mostly in the city, and he lives in the city today. True to what Sarah spoke about, he is the neighbor. Paul wasn't born or raised on a reservation. He lives in an urban setting, something that is true for over 70% of Native Americans. And some of that is in his lyrics.
Naturally, we're children of the corn, not of the hamburger, not of the pie. Whoever said adults are educators was a lie.
You know, it's an opportunity to educate and to be bold and brave and just not bite my tongue about anything, you know, like I'm gonna speak my mind.
What the difference he's created for me.
For the artist, you know, music is very releasing, you know, it's very liberating. Whether you're musically inclined or not, everybody listens to it pretty much. So I think it's a very powerful source of information, regardless of what the audience looks like. And there might be some people who don't want to hear it, but they need to hear it.
I am realizing more and more home is about the individual perspective. Discomfort comes in when we feel we can't relate with how our neighbors see the world. Music can help us start the hard conversations. But it begins with taking time to listen.
Can't make America great again, cause it never was. Founded on slavery and genocide, they some clever thugs. Grounded on burial mounds of my indigenous blood, where they erased our history and made history up. They pledge allegiance to a symbol over colored lives. Condemn you if you kneel before a song that's oversized. Sell you a sandwich for $1, still it's overpriced. Because the diabetes and disease stays on the rise. You got a better chance of seeing presidential tweets than you do with seeing him in Puerto Rico, real relief. So many Americans are really Confederates in disguise. Couldn't pick them waddles out of a crowd because they're wearing stripes. Since they got a problem with us, they should go back home. Back to the land where sun don't shine and cows and swine roam. If they can't honor constitutions that their people wrote, I can't see improvement unless it means them leaving on a boat. I appreciate y'all for having me.